Sarah, and this is the next Sharpsburg story stream. Whether you're a friend who normally comes to the library for story time or someone who's just finding us via our online content, I know we're going to have fun together today. Since I don't know which of my friends at home are watching, our hello song will not include anyone's name. It's to the same tune of If You're Happy and You Know It. For the first verse, let's clap our hands. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, sit down and take a look. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. Let's stomp our feet. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. If you want to read a book, sit down and take a look. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. Let's wave our arms. If you want to read a book, wave your arms. If you want to read a book, wave your arms. If you want to read a book, sit down and take a look. If you want to read a book, wave your arms. Let's find our chair. If you want to read a book, find your chair. If you want to read a book, find your chair. If you want to read a book, sit down and take a look. If you want to read a book, find your chair. All right, I hope everyone's doing well today. I want you to take a moment and think about all the people that you know in your life. Your friends, your family, your neighbors. If you go to school, your classmates and your teachers. So now that you've thought of all of those people, do they all look the same? No, they don't all look the same. What are some ways that your friends, family, neighbors, classmates, teachers are different? Yes, their hair color might be different, or their hair texture might be different. What else could set us apart? Yeah, some of our friends might have different skin tones from us. They might speak a different language at home if they're grown-ups. Those are all great answers. And all of those differences make us special. Those are things for us to celebrate, right? Well, a long time ago, not everyone thought those were things to celebrate. If you go to school, you might have the day off this week for something called Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If you're off that day, it's because of this very important man, among many other people who helped to make sure that regardless of what someone might look like, what their skin color might be, we have equal rights. We're treated the same. So our book today is a very brief introduction to that for our preschool friends called We March. It is words and pictures by Shane W. Evans and is read with the permission of Roaring Brook Press. The morning is quiet. Is it late in the morning? Or early in the morning? What do you think? I think it's very early in the morning. The stars are still out. Let's see what happens. The sun rises. And we prepare. What do you think the family is preparing for? What are they getting ready for? Maybe they have to go somewhere far away. Maybe that's why they have to get up so early. That is a great guess. Why else might they be up so early? Maybe they just have stuff to do? Let's see. We prepare to march. We pray for strength. And we work together. What are they doing? Picture. Yeah, they're painting signs. This one says, we want freedom. We come from all over to march. Follow our leaders. We walk together. Are all the people in the picture the same? No, they're different. What are some differences you notice? Right? Some people are old, some people are young. People have different skin tones and different hair. Some are even in wheelchairs. Everybody wants this, whatever they're marching for. We sing. We are hot and tired, but we are filled with hope. We lean on each other, support each other. As we march to justice, to freedom, to our dreams. There's a note at the back that talks a little bit about this march. On August 28th, 1963, that's almost 60 years ago, more than 250,000 people gathered in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., to participate in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The march began at the Washington Monument and ended with a rally at the Lincoln Memorial, where iconic musicians such as Mahalia Jackson, Bob Dylan, and Joan Baez performed, and Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic "I Have a Dream" speech. Throughout history, there have been many organized marches when people walked together to advance a common goal. The Selma to Montgomery March, which consisted of 3 separate marches that took place in March of 1965, was held to focus attention on the civil rights movement and the need for outlawing racial discrimination. The routes are now memorialized at the Selma to Montgomery Voting Rights Trail. Following these marches, the country enacted 2 pieces of legislation, 2 laws that were crucial for moving the country toward racial equality. The first was the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which banned racial segregation in public schools, public places, and in select workplaces. That meant that you couldn't separate people based on the color of their skin. The second was the National Voting Rights Act of 1965, which outlawed discriminatory voting practices that denied many African Americans the right to vote. It takes people of all ages and all cultural backgrounds to move a nation into a new era of freedom. In a sense, these marches pushed old ideas out of the way and moved new ideas forward. History shows that where there's change, there will often be resistance to change. However, these events demonstrate that through action and determination, people have the power to overcome that resistance. I've always been inspired by the idea of people coming together, joining hands in prayer, and lifting their voices in song to march toward freedom. Signed, the author, Shane W. Evans. If you would like to learn more about the civil rights movement, some great picture books for our young friends include Martin's Big Words by Doreen Rappaport and The Undefeated by Kwame Alexander, which will be a story walk at our sister location, Cooper Siegel Community Library, in February. If you'd like to learn more about social justice in picture books, I recommend Anti-Racist Baby by Ibram X. Kendi, All Are Welcome by Alexandra Penfold, and Speak Up by Miranda Paul. That's about all the time we have today, friends. Are you ready to sing the goodbye song? It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you have that I'll be here when the week is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you want to talk about. I will too. I'll see you next week, friends. Stay safe and healthy.